For 3 long months, Jennifer's body was sending out desperate signals, begging for assistance. She approached it just like any other challenge in her career, fueled by coffee, sacrificing sleep, and pushing herself to work even harder. As she sat there, meticulously arranging Excel spreadsheets, a silent battle raged within her heart slowly fading away, unnoticed by the world around her. Jennifer Davis was that one person who seemed to have everything perfectly planned out. At the age of 54, she found herself at the helm of MedTech Solutions, a thriving medical device company raking in $200 million, all while being based in the vibrant city of Austin, Texas. She had scaled every level of the corporate ladder, broken through glass ceilings, and earned her reputation as the go-to executive for solving any crisis. As she sat in her corner office, the breathtaking view of the city skyline served as a powerful reminder of her incredible journey from a small-town girl to a successful professional. Success had shaped Jennifer's mindset, leading her to view her body as just another department that had to function smoothly and without any issues. It all began in March, right after the company faced its toughest quarter in 5 years. The exhaustion was palpable, creeping in like a shadow as everyone felt the weight of the challenges they had just overcome. So picture this. 2 huge contracts just slipped right through their fingers. The FDA hit the brakes on approving their latest product, and to top it all off, 3 key executives decided to jump ship. What a roller coaster. Jennifer tackled the situation just like she always did, by putting in extra hours, diving deeper into her thoughts, and powering through the challenges ahead. "I just need to push through this tough time," she said to her husband David during one of their few dinners at home. "Once we finally land the Morrison account, everything is going to chill out and fall into place." But the Morrison account appeared and disappeared, yet the exhaustion lingered on. Honestly, it just kept getting worse. By April, Jennifer found herself battling through board meetings, fighting off the overwhelming urge to take a nap. She was the kind of person who could power through 12-hour workdays and still light up the night at events. But lately, things had changed. Now, she found herself dozing off in her car during lunch breaks, completely drained. "You know what? I think I should really up my coffee game," she thought, doubling her daily cups from 3 to 6. Maria, her assistant, started to pick up on some unexpected changes. "Ms. Davis, you seem a bit under the weather today." "Hey, are you doing okay?" Jennifer waved away the worry as if it were just a passing cloud on a sunny day, feeling completely drained, but it was more than just feeling tired. So there was this moment when Jennifer felt this intense heaviness in her chest. She couldn't shake the feeling, and she just knew it was all that stress piling up on her. There were moments, particularly in those intense meetings, when it felt like the air was just slipping away from her. She felt a rush of dizziness every time she jumped up from her desk, like the world was spinning just a bit too fast. "It's probably low blood sugar," she thought, reaching for the protein bars stashed away in her desk drawer. It all began in May, when the sweat started to pour. In the midst of a high-stakes presentation to potential investors, Jennifer could feel the sweat trickling down her forehead, even though the conference room was blasting with air conditioning. She had felt that familiar nervous sweat before big meetings, but this time it was different. Cold, clammy, and totally out of her control. "Hey, Maria," she said quietly, glancing around to make sure no one was listening. "Can you turn up the AC? It's about to get real in here." After the presentation that landed a whopping $15 million in funding, Jennifer found herself sitting alone in her office, overwhelmed and feeling a wave of dizziness and nausea wash over her. She thought it was just the adrenaline crash hitting her after nailing that pitch. "You won't believe what happens when you pour your heart and soul into your job," she thought to herself. It was like the nausea had decided to stick around, becoming a constant presence in my life. Jennifer, a pro at business lunches and client dinners, suddenly found herself pushing food around her plate, barely able to take more than a few bites. What happened to her appetite? It was a mystery that left her feeling uneasy. She told herself it was just stress messing with her stomach. I really should start taking antacids, she mused as she reached for the Tums to add to her daily lineup, right next to her ever-growing coffee habit. As May came to a close, Jennifer found herself grappling with an unsettling new twist, an odd aching sensation creeping into her right arm and shoulder. After countless hours spent typing and reviewing documents, she thought it was just a case of repetitive strain injury. I need a better ergonomic setup, she said to David as she clicked order on a sleek adjustable desk and a stylish ergonomic chair, ready to transform her workspace. But the pain just wouldn't let up, sometimes shooting through to her jaw and neck. So Jennifer decided it was time for some self-care. She booked a massage appointment, totally convinced that all that stress from work was showing up in her muscles. Can you relate? As she went over the financial projections one last time, that familiar weight in her chest came back, but this time it felt more intense than ever. She felt a wave of nausea crash over her, gripping her desk tightly as dizziness threatened to pull her under. Jennifer's right arm was totally numb, and the pain in her jaw was so intense that she couldn't help but think she might have TMJ from all that stress-induced teeth grinding. "All right, just power through this meeting," she whispered to herself, determination in her voice. "You can handle this later." As the board members walked into the conference room, Jennifer felt a wave of anxiety wash over her. She could sense the pressure mounting, and suddenly, speaking clearly seemed like an impossible task. It was like trying to swim through molasses. The words that should have come so easily were stuck, heavy, and just wouldn't come out right. Maria caught on right away. "Ms. Davis, are you feeling okay? You don't seem like yourself. Should I reach out to someone?" Jennifer felt a rush of uncertainty wash over her, but she shook it off. However, as she attempted to rise from her chair, the world around her began to whirl uncontrollably. The cold sweat dripped down her forehead, and a wave of nausea hit her like a freight train, making her feel like she was on the verge of losing it all. "So, here's the thing. I think I need to sit down," she finally said, her voice barely above a whisper. In a moment that would change everything, David Harrison, the board chairman and Jennifer's trusted mentor, locked eyes with her and made a choice that would ultimately save her life. "We're calling 911, he declared, urgency in his voice. "Hey everyone, just a quick update. The meeting we had scheduled is now postponed. Stay tuned for more details." No, I'm totally fine," Jennifer insisted, her voice barely above a whisper. "It's simply stress. Could be low blood sugar, right?" But David was already on the phone with emergency services, ready to take action. In just 8 minutes, the paramedics burst onto the scene, ready to take action. Jennifer felt a wave of embarrassment wash over her as she realized the attention on her. She couldn't shake the thought that everyone around her might see her as weak or incapable of handling the pressure. It was a moment that made her question herself deeply. "I think I'm just having a panic attack," she said to the EMT while he hooked up the monitoring equipment. In a high-stakes moment, Carlos, a seasoned EMT with countless heart attacks under his belt, glanced at the monitor readings. Without missing a beat, he grabbed the radio and called into the hospital, knowing every second counted. Meet a 54-year-old woman who suddenly finds herself facing a life-changing moment as she experiences an acute cardiac event. Just 7 minutes to go. In that moment, everything changed for Jennifer. Did something happen with the heart? No way that's happening. I'm all good when it comes to my heart. I'm telling you, it's pure exhaustion. In the bustling hospital, Dr. Sarah Chen, the emergency cardiologist, carefully examined Jennifer's EKG and blood work, ready to uncover the mystery behind her condition. The results were in, and they revealed what Carlos had feared all along. Jennifer was right in the thick of a heart attack, and it seemed she had been battling cardiac issues for months without anyone knowing. Dr. Chen leaned in, his voice calm yet serious. "The symptoms you're experiencing, that overwhelming exhaustion, the nausea, the pain in your right arm and jaw, the sweating, and that feeling of breathlessness, these are all classic signs of a heart attack, especially in women," he said, his eyes filled with concern. "Hey there. So, have you ever felt like your heart has been sending you signals? Well, it's been trying to get your attention for a while now." Jennifer lay there, her eyes fixed on the ceiling of the emergency room, trying to wrap her mind around everything that was happening. But I always imagined heart attacks would feel like an elephant just crushing down on your chest. Out of nowhere, a sharp pain suddenly hit me on the left side. It was intense and caught me off guard, leaving me wondering what could possibly be happening. I could feel my heart racing as I tried to figure out the cause of this unexpected discomfort. That's usually how guys go through heart attacks, Dr. Chen explained. Did you know that women can experience what are known as silent heart attacks? These can come with subtler symptoms that are often confused with other health issues. It's a surprising and important fact to be aware of. So, picture this. The angiogram comes back, and it shows something pretty serious. Jennifer's right coronary artery has a major blockage. Yikes! In a dramatic turn of events, Dr. Chen rushed into action, performing an emergency angioplasty. With precision and skill, he inserted a stent, working tirelessly to restore blood flow to Jennifer's heart. It was a race against time, and every second counted. "You know, Jennifer, you really dodged a bullet there," Dr. Chen said after the incident. "If your colleague hadn't pushed for calling 911, who knows what could have happened? A lot of women overlook these signs until it's just too late. So picture this. Jennifer finds herself in the hospital for 3 days, and it's the perfect opportunity for her to dive deep into her thoughts about everything that's happened over the past few months. Looking back, every single symptom she had felt, every little signal her body was trying to communicate, suddenly clicked into place. "I treated my body like a broken machine," she shared with David during one of his visits. "I was determined to keep going, ignoring all the signs that were trying to get my attention." David, having teamed up with Jennifer for more than 10 years, gave a knowing nod. "You tackle every challenge with the same mindset. Put in the effort, brainstorm endlessly, and push through no matter what. But your heart wasn't just a quarterly report that could be improved with better data." After her visit to the cardiologist, Jennifer's perspective on success took a dramatic turn. She was on a journey to reclaim her health, diving into cardiac rehabilitation, mastering stress management, embracing regular exercise, and completely transforming her work-life balance. In a moment of clarity, Jennifer thought to herself, "I've been so consumed with saving the company that I almost pushed myself to the brink." In June, everyone was buzzing about the merger that felt absolutely essential. Fast forward to September, and it finally wrapped up. But Jennifer had her own unique approach to the whole situation. She decided to step back and let her team take the reins, trusting them to handle the details. Plus, she made sure to keep her working hours in check, finding that balance was key. "You know, the biggest leadership lesson I've picked up along the way," Jennifer shares, "is that looking after yourself isn't being selfish. It's absolutely crucial. I can't run a company if I'm not alive." Jennifer's journey has turned into a powerful lesson for leaders everywhere. Now, she takes the stage at leadership conferences, sharing her insights on how to spot the warning signs of burnout and the unique symptoms of heart disease that affect women. "You know, women's heart attacks aren't always the dramatic scenes you see in the movies," she shares with her audience. "There are moments when it feels like you're trapped in a cycle of fatigue that just won't lift, battling that persistent wave of nausea or experiencing unexpected aches in the most surprising spots." Jennifer's heart is back in the game, and guess what? She's still rocking her role as CEO, all while balancing her hours like a pro. After she mastered the art of delegation and put her trust in her team, her company's performance took a turn for the better. "For 3 long months, my body was practically shouting for help, but instead of tuning in, I just cranked up the volume on my work," Jennifer shares. "You won't believe what happened. I was going about my life, running on autopilot, when suddenly someone made me pause. And in that moment of stillness, I finally heard what my heart had been trying to say all along. It was a game changer.